Now we are focusing on World War I. What was the situation that led the Europe as well as rest of the parts of world to World War I? We are first discussing the background of World War I, then we are discussing actually World War, and then post-World War effect. And obviously the fourth topic will be effect of World War on India. The first thing, Russia was expanded to very great extent. But Russian people were not happy with their ruling system. Just try to recollect, in England democracy was developed without revolution. In particularly 17th or 18th century there was no revolution in England, but still democracy was developed to very great extent. In France, after French Revolution, Napoleon got power in hands. But again, after fall of Napoleon, there was development of democracy in France. America declared independence, and then there was democratic development in America also. Like that, various countries were developing with help of democracy. But Russia was ruled by Tsar, that is emperor. It is corrupt word of Caesar. In Roman language it is called as Caesar. Here they are called as Tsar. In German language Kaiser. So like that words are there. Now Tsar was ruling over Russia, but people were not happy. In order to get stability in Russia, Tsar declared war against Japan. See, what is the size of Japan and what is the size of Russia? But still, Tsar declared war against Russia, and Russia lost out the war. Just imagine, Japan was able to manage victory over Russia. Why? There was revolution in Japan. One important prime minister was there, named as Meiji. So Meiji carried out various reforms in Japan. They are called as Meiji reforms. And after Meiji reforms, Japan developed to very great extent. Immediately Britain, France cancelled out all earlier treaties with Japan and signed out new treaties in terms of equality with Japan. See, this is the power of army. What Japan showed over here, that is. Because of that, Tsar was again in problem, and still problem increased out. And then he was interested in fighting war so that he should get sure shot victory. He was interested in this all territory. We are calling that as Balkan territory. Why? Because racially these people are called as Slav people, and many people here staying in this territory were also racially Slav. Tsar was interested in getting, or Russia rather was interested in getting this territory as annexation for Russia, as this is also Slav nation. But why they were interested? The Balkan territory was ruled by Roman emperor, by Ottoman emperor. But now Ottoman empire was declining out. And then there was competition that after fall of Ottoman Empire, Balkan should be in hands of Russia. This is actually reason, but the real reason is something different. See, here there is sea for Russia, but northern part is frozen in winter season, whereas this was checked by Denmark, Sweden, Norway, as well as at mouth of this there is Britain, Great Britain. So Russia was not able to carry out their trade freely. The northern side is there, but that is beyond Arctic Circle, which is completely frozen, frigid zone. eastern part was there. Even Russia managed. But still, from Russia, somewhere here is the capital, Moscow. From Moscow to take out goods here on land and then trade with India or other parts of world, that is merely much more costly. So this was also not way. So suppose Russia is able to get this territory, then Russia can trade out directly from here, anywhere. By the time now there was construction of Suez Canal, and because of this Suez Canal, the trade route to India becomes still shorter. Britain can enter here, and through Suez Canal they can enter in India. So instead of encircling Africa, this route was comparatively very shorter. So Russia was also ready to take benefit of this all, and therefore Russia was interested in Balkan territory. Whereas Austria and Hungary, this is empire of Austria and Hungary, that is called as Austro-Hungary Empire. They were ready to annex this territory as to expand out their empire. Whereas British and French, they were not ready to lose out this territory in the hands of Russia or in hands of Austria-Hungary. Why? Because they were interested that there should be smaller kingdoms over here. These kingdoms will be held by Britain or France. These states, not kingdoms, states will be held by Britain and France, and therefore their touch should be there. If Russia entered here, then Russia will definitely capture out this Suez Canal. And so they were not ready, Britain and France. But still, these all territories were in hands of Ottoman Empire only. At the same time, these states are called as Germanic states. They were not, but Britishers were calling that a Germanic state. They were Hanover, Saxony, Luxembourg, Bavaria, then Denmark, Austria, Prussia, like that. They were German-speaking states. Say, during Renaissance period, different states were origin out. Linguistic state, Spanish, Spain, Portuguese, Portugal, like that. But Germanic people were not getting out Germany. They were at phase of war, and there was union also. But these states were separated out. Out of that, Prussia, here I have shown here Prussia and Austria were two mighty powers in Germanic states. Whereas Austria was having empire. Habsburg dynasty was ruling over here, and they developed out vast empire with Hungary. They are called as Austro-Hungary Empire. In Prussia, Hohenzollern dynasty was ruling over there, and they got a mighty chancellor named as Prince Bismarck. Prince Bismarck is a diplomat. Initially, king was having problem with Prince Bismarck, threat that may be possible Prince Bismarck will carry out rebellion against king. But Bismarck declared that there is no need of rebellion in Germany. Germany is suitable, or rather Prussia, I should say. The Prussia, for Prussia, there should be only kingship. The monarchy is important for Prussia and not democracy. He was appointed as chancellor, and he carried out tremendous changes in Prussia. Like Meiji carried out in Japan, similar fashion. He made Prussian army a strong army. New weapons were discovered, and he made Prussia as mighty. Obviously, Britain and France got check. At the same time, he managed the daughter of king, that is princess of king, to marry with Tsar of Russia. So they formed matrimonial alliance, and obviously for a while they were having now freedom from Russian attack, threat rather, that was decreased. Now, the war was there between Prussia and Austria because the increasing supremacy of Prussia was threatened for Austria, and then there was war between Prussia and Austria where Austria lost out that war terribly. This is something challenging out, that Prussia managed victory over Austria. This was fluke? No, because this is because of Prince Bismarck's diplomatic policies. He made first army strong, and then there was war between Prussia and Austria. But now Prussia was challenged by France. Obviously, because France is neighbor of Prussia. Napoleon Bonaparte managed victory over Prussia, and from Prussia they taken out territory that is called as Alsace and Lorraine to France. Now there was war between Prussia and France under leadership of Bismarck. Prussia managed victory over France. Prussians reached till Paris, and then France declared victory of Prussia, defeated, he surrendered, and then Alsace and Lorraine territories were handed over to Prussia. So this way Alsace and Lorraine were there in parts of Prussia now. French were badly defeated by Prussian people. Now in this German speaking people, the Prussia become dominant, and then Bismarck carried out unification of German speaking state, where that Bavaria, Luxembourg, Hanover, Saxony, these all states were united. Denmark was not part of now Germany, and Austria was not part of Germany, but rest of all smaller states united, where Prussia was the dominating one, and they form a federation, or say a state, that is called as Deutschland in their language, whereas we are calling Germany. Now France realized the threat of Germany, and then there was continuous struggle between England and France. They decided to end out that struggle. On table discussion, they set out their issues, and ultimately they signed a Treaty of Friendship in 1905. This way groupism was developed in Europe, particularly England and France were united, whereas Bismarck united Austria and later Italy. So there was group of Prussia, Austria and Italy. Later on, Ottoman Empire was also there with this group, that is Germany's side. So this way groupism was developed. Later on Russia joined this group. So France was managed this way, the threat for Germany, that from western side France and eastern side Russia. Whereas Italy, Austria and French, German, they were towards eastern part of France boundary. So like that, as we are playing chess, we are placing out different king, or say that bishop, or even queen, in such a way that opponent will be lost. So same thing they started carried on over here, and to the surprise Japan also joined the group of British side. So this way world was divided into two sides, rather Europe was divided into two sides, and rest of the part of world, America, was independent, but Japan joined this group. Now here we are getting important part, that Europe was divided, but whereas Spain and Portugal was not part of that. Norway, Sweden, Finland, they were not part of that, because the main threat was there between Germany and France, Germany and Russia, and obviously England wanted to continue English supremacy over Europe, and for that purpose England was interested that war should be there, but supremacy, that all nation will become weak and England will become supreme nation. So that was something ideology. This was the situation particularly before World War. Now, from 1905 onwards, many people in Europe realized that there must be a big war going on in Europe. The chances are there. When it will break out, don't know. But at some fine day, this war will start. That was clear-cut idea. From Indian side, freedom fighter Savarkar, he was there in England in those days. He managed a group of revolutionary organization that is called as Abhinav Bharat from England, and he is also under impression, he was under impression that shortly there will be world war. When exactly, don't know. But he carried out organization of different revolutionary activities from parts of world. For example, Chinese revolutionaries were in contact with him. Egyptian revolutionaries were in contact with him. Irish revolutionaries were in contact with him. And then they decided that we have to carry out revolutionary activity immediately after there is outbreak of World War. And at that time, one can control over British during this particular period, and we should get freedom from this World War. So basically, this idea of Indian freedom was developed by freedom fighter Savarkar in before 1910, because he was arrested in Europe and ultimately sent to Andaman for lifetime deportation, that is for 50 years deportation to Andaman and Nicobar. In 1910, December 1910, he was there in Andaman, and ultimately he was having debt that in 23rd December 1960 you will be freed from this jail. Anyway, so this was the particular situation in Europe. Now, there was ruler of Germany, that is Kaiser Wilhelm II. He used aggressive policies, whereas Bismarck was not ready to fight with England. But Kaiser Wilhelm II was of opinion that Germany must get colonies in the world. But where? Where is the world? It was divided either in hands of Americans, French or Britishers. And therefore, he got some territories in China. Tried to enter in parts of Africa. But he was not getting colonies. And then, obviously, he decided to grab out colonies from other territories, other kingdoms, and for that purpose, with help of Turkestan, he decided to carry out, he proposed a train route that was joining Berlin to Baghdad over here. So just imagine, I am showing in dotted line, that was vastly going, not this way, sorry, this is Russia, but that was vastly going through Germany, Austria-Hungary Empire, and then Asia Minor, crossed out here and reached till Baghdad. So this way he proposed out somewhat train route. That train will carry from Berlin to Baghdad. Britishers realized the threat, because by that train German army can easily enter in Baghdad. From Baghdad there is port as Basra, and from that they can enter in their empire. So Britishers were not ready to do this, happen this, because it was direct threat for their empire. And now there was groupism, and then very, very explosive situation in Europe was developed. Particularly, there was outbreak of revolts in this territory. As a result, some of the nations declared their freedom. In this Balkan, Bulgaria declared their freedom. Serbia declared their freedom. So, few nations from Balkan declared their freedom. Turkestan or Turkey or Ottoman Empire was not able to manage out this rebellion, and so these nations declared their independence. Now obviously Austrian prince named as Franz Ferdinand or Archduke Ferdinand, he visited Bosnia, that was also having freedom. So capital of Bosnia, that is called as Sarajevo. So he visited there, where he was shot out by Serbian person. And then Austria, Hungary asked this Serbia is very, very small nation, to surrender and accept some conditions. Any independent nation will not accept this type of insulting situation condition. So obviously there was chance that Austria is going to invade Serbia by getting this type of issue. Immediately Serbia was protected by Russia, supported by Russia. Then Germany declared that if it is the situation that Russia is declaring war against Austria, then obviously Germany will declare war against Russia. Then England and France declared that if Germany is going to declare war against Russia, then we are going to declare war against Germany. Say, the issue was something different. What was the issue? That Prince of Austria was shot out by Serbian person, but were in the capital of Bosnia. And then the World War broke out by this issue. See, after finishing out the deadline, Austria invaded Serbia. Immediately Russia declared war against Austria. Immediately Germany declared war against Russia. Immediately England and France declared war against Germany. And immediately Germany invaded Belgium. See, in this entire story there was no Belgium. Belgium was non-allied nation. That nation was not ready to side either to Germany or to France. But to the surprise, Germany invaded Belgium because their route was simple. By entering in Belgium, this is the part where forest land is there. Ardennes forests are there. By entering in Belgium, they can enter in France. And therefore, the war was there between Austria and Serbia. But the sufferer was Belgium because of Germany. And this way, the war broke out in Europe, followed by in other parts of world also. America was not ready. America means United States of America was not ready to enter in this world war. But from 1914, this war started out, and one by one nation involved here. Say Belgium lost out their independence, then Germany people entered in France. France were using, in those days, these French people were using trenches to fight with German army. War continued through trenches, and then German people almost reached till Paris. Many various parts of France were in hands of Germany now. And then Russia carried out attack from eastern part of Germany. This was deciding situation in the World War. So Germany took over army from this territory. Now they were in defensive mode in France, but they carried out aggression in Russia. The moment Germans started out fighting with Russian, German army was superior one. Russian army got terrible blow, defeat over here, and they started out taking back. But German army advanced here, and this much of territory they got from Russia. Now till that, several incidents occurred. America was helping out England. Now some protocols are there, some wartime rules are there, that public vehicles should not be troubled. Only war is there between two armies. Russia, America, that is United States of America, was continuously carrying out their public boats to Europe, and weapons were carried out through that, like that Germany is saying, and therefore they carried out attack on this transport boat, public boat. America warned out Germany not to do so, but Germanic attack was continued. A ship named as Lusitania was attacked by German submarine, and many American people on that boat were died. By getting this issue, America entered in World War against Germany. Now, whether it is true or not true, I don't know. But another reason was that many American industrialists were involved in financial activities with Europe. Particularly, French and British industrialists were taking loans from American industrialists. And if if England or France lost out war, then these loans were not recoverable. And therefore, these industrialists pressurized American government, and then to make certain reason, America carried out this issue and entered in war. So whatever the thing, but America entered in war, and now American Navy with British and French Navy managed a victory in naval battle with Germany, where at Jutland, German army was defeated, German Navy was defeated badly. One more incident that we were discussing out the group, Germany, Austria and Turkestan or Turkey, along with Italy. But Italy was not ready to enter in war. After Germany declared war, after Austria declared war, but Italy was not declared war. And lastly, Italy declared war, but against Germany. Britishers managed Italy to fight, to change the side of Germany and fight against Germany. And that's why Italy was now not part of German alliances. Instead of that, it was now fought a war as a part of British alliances. Now Turkey declared their defeat, surrendered out. That was blow for Germany. Then onwards, Austria also declared their defeat. Now Germany was alone fighting, no doubt. Still Germans were there in enemy's territory. But there was now no support of navy for Germany from seaside, whereas that alone nation was there in fight. This situation was critical, and in order to avoid further trouble, Emperor Kaiser Wilhelm II from Hohenzollern dynasty decided to quit Germany, and he fled into Denmark, in Holland. And this way, the Germany was now not having any leader. Emperor was not there in nation. At that time, Woodrow Wilson, the President of America, declared some plan, and then with that 14 clauses, Germany decided to surrender, quit the war, and this way Germany lost out First World War. This is the end of World War, that is there in 1918. But see, yet Germany is there in the other territory, not enemy, any side. Your enemy is not entered in Germany side. This is particularly end of First World War. Now what happened? What is the impact of this World War over the world. Number one, America was not there in World War in initial stage. In latter stage, America entered in World War. But as war was there continuously going on in Europe, they were having problem of various industrial goods that was supplied by America, and America become more rich. Already that was rich, but still get more richness. War means weapons. Maximum weapon supply was there from America. The third and important thing, that English supremacy over the Europe was established to great extent, because war was not fought on land of England. In ocean or in sea it is there, but not on the land of England. Whereas French were sufferers to greater extent. Almost half of the France was there in hands of Germany. In Russia, when Russia involved in war and continuously Russia was defeated by German army, there was revolution in Russia under leadership of leader Kerensky. The Tsar was dethroned and entire power of Russia was taken in hands of Kerensky. Then another Bolshevik leader, that is communist leader, Lenin, entire name Vladimir Lenin, that is actually nickname, original name Vladimir Ilya Ulyanovich. He was there in England. He managed to go in Germany, and with help of Germany he managed to enter in Russia. He carried out second revolution in Russia, that is called as Bolshevik Revolution, and he got power in hands, and then he surrendered or made treaty with Germany as to maintain status quo. That means whatever land is there in German's hand, that should be in hands of Germany, rest of the Russia should be there with Lenin. And this way Germany was initially able to make some treaty or some peace over eastern boundary, but later on Germany was defeated and this territory was there in hands of Germany only. So Russia was under leadership of now communist power, that is under leadership of Vladimir Lenin. So this is major change, because the communist ideology was there existing for many years. Basically this communist ideology was developed by Karl Marx and Friedrich Engels. Karl Marx was German, Friedrich Engels was French. They developed out this ideology. Particularly a marvelous book is written by Karl Marx that is named as Das Kapital in German, whereas The Capital in English. Under this type of ideology, Russia is the first nation who become communist. In this way, now no doubt many people were died in this world war. Many people were severely injured, permanently become handicapped in this world war. The destruction of wealth was to great extent. Whatever the wealth accumulated by these French and Britishers from their colonies were destroyed, because they were also carrying out injustice with these colonies. They were looting out these colonies and taking wealth. So this all wealth, maximum wealth over here, that was destroyed. But French people suffered a lot rather than Britishers in this First World War. But many youth people were died in this First World War. In case of India, we have certain plus points of this World War. Number one, India was not damaged, or Indian boundaries were not attacked by enemies in this First World War. Only thing that Indian army was taken in the First World War. Now, the emperor of Turkey or Turkestan, that was called as Khalifa. Khalifa means religious chief of Muslim world. 60% Indian army in those days were Muslim. They were not ready to fight with their Khalifa, because Khalifa was towards Germanic side, whereas England was fighting war with Turkey. And so English people promised out this army that whatever is the result of war, we are not disturbing out position of Khalifa. If Germany lost out war, then all right, we are giving you promise. If we lost war, then whatever is there, Khalifa can do. Anyway, Khalifa will be preserved, that position will be preserved, so you can fight the war. And on this promise, the Muslims, particularly from Indian side, decided to fight war with against Turkey, and this way they fought war with Turkey. And now, after the World War, they signed different treaties with Turkey. The first one, treaty was carried out with Turkey, which was carrying out injustice. So second treaty was carried out because a great leader developed in Turkey named as Kemal Pasha. He was entitled as Ataturk. Ataturk means father of Turk by people of Turkey. He carried out tremendous revolution in Turkey, and because of his presence, another treaty was signed with Turkey. Total 2 treaties were signed. One is Lausanne and second one is Sevres with Turkey. But they lost out their empire. This all world they lost out as their empire. And so merely here Iran and Iraq were developed out. Like that, different changes happened here in this Arabic world. Now these all Balkan nations got freedom. Only this territory is still in hands of Turkey. Remaining all these territories got separated. Now here there is development of Yugoslavia, then Bulgaria, Romania, like that various nations were developed. Here is Albania. So various nations here developed. They are called as now Balkan nation. Now whatever the Germany lost, France territory was given to France, Belgium was separated again. Then here a nation was developed, that is Poland. Not this much, map is not proportional one. Poland was developed, a separate nation, and there was no sea for Poland. So this way a corridor was developed. This is called as Danzig corridor. So this is Danzig port, basically belonging to Germany but given to Poland to use, and corridor was given. This is again Prussia. So here the boundaries are changed out. Now this Estonia, Lithuania, Latvia, 3 nations were established here. For this Poland faced war with Russia immediately after that and gained some of the more territories from Russia. So this way Polish nation was established again. Estonia, Lithuania, Latvia, like that nations were developed. Then Austro-Hungary Empire was lost out in smaller kingdoms. There was development of new nation that is called as Czechoslovakia. In between that, the Austria lost out, the small Hungary was kept here, and Czechoslovakia was developed over here. Now this way the map of Europe was changed after First World War. India, the first thing, that is problem of Khalifa was there. To install, now Khalifa was not there after World War. Britishers simply forget what they promised out earlier way. And now Muslims from India started out a movement to install Khalifa to his own position again. That movement is named as Khilafat movement. That was after World War first. With Austria, Britishers and these all winner nation carried out treaty that is called as Treaty of Saint-Germain. With Germany, they carried out treaty that is called as Treaty of Versailles. So like that various treaties were carried out. Now, in case of Germany, Germany was considered as the most important nation responsible for World War, and huge tribute and penalty was charged to Germany. That amount was so great that Germany is not able to pay that immediately. And so that was divided into smaller installments, and installment payments were made available for other nation. But that amount was so huge that World War was ended in 1918. Until 1988, Germany should pay installments of that tribute plus penalty. So that amount is very, very huge, and Germany is not able to pay that. So one territory is there that is called as Saar, that was rich with coal mines. So these coal mines were handed over to France for 14 years. They can take out coal from that. This is the payment of part of tribute. Then Germany was not allowed to keep army over this boundary. There is Rhine river between Germany and France. German army should be there 50 kilometers inside the boundary. Like that order was given. Then Germany should not keep any air force. At the end of war, there was development of air force. But no air force should be there for Germany. Germany should not have navy. And Germany can keep maximum 1 lakh army. That's all. Germany accepted all this because it was forced to accept that. Then Germany should not unite with Austria in future. So like that also condition was implemented over there. Then Danzig corridor was given to Poland. Then all the land from Russia, that was, as we discussed, Estonia, Lithuania, Latvia, Poland, like that nations were created. So these all land were conquered by Germany, German army, but now they got freedom from Russia. Now this way the certain impacts of World Wars were there. Now what was the benefit of India in this war? As German submarines were dominated in all this sea, particularly around England. England was not able to supply goods to India. For last 100 years, England managed the supply of goods from England to India, that is the finished goods, whereas raw materials were taken from England to from India to England. But now they managed out, they were not able to take out that finished good to India and not raw material to England from India, and therefore British government allowed development of industries in India. So some of the foreign investors also entered in India for development of industries. Along with that, local people also entered in this type of development of industry. So this is the major benefit of this World War for India. In India, we are not directly involved in war, but still our great freedom fighter Savarkar, he was making some plan for freedom of India, but unfortunately he was arrested and sent to Andaman and Nicobar Islands, particularly Andaman, in cellular jail. But still the plan of Abhinav Bharat, his organization, was continued, because one of the important person of Abhinav Bharat, named as Lala Hardayal, he managed to escape. And then in Canada, he formed a movement that is called as Gadar movement. Particularly in Canada and USA, they managed out a movement that is called as Gadar movement. And in India, from Punjab side, because many Punjabis were settled out in Canada and USA in those days. So the Punjab was entered in revolution. The weapons were carried out from Germany to India in this World War phase. Particularly a huge ship was there named as Amden. So Germany, that Kaiser Wilhelm sent out this Amden to India. The role was there that attack on Andaman and rescue the revolutionaries from Andaman and then supply these weapons to Punjabi people and carry out war in India. Say Germany was helping us. Before war also, Madam Kama, that was a member of Abhinav Bharat, she managed to host Indian flag at Stuttgart, Germany, in international conference. So like that, Germany was supporting us. And here also Germans supported, not because of Indian friendship, but enemy's enemy is our friend. England was enemy of Germany and India was having enmity with English people. So we can help India for their freedom. So like that, some plan was made. Unfortunately, and with British supremacy, no doubt, they managed to destroy Amden near Calcutta. And then this plan was wasted out. But the efforts, in spite of Savarkar was there in Andaman, the efforts were carried out that the outside attack over India, and with that attack, with that help, India can get freedom. During this Gadar moment, a separate Indian government was also formed in Afghanistan under leadership of Raja Mahendra Pratap Singh and Maulana Barkatullah. This government was formed in Afghanistan, but later on all these people were arrested and ultimately the conspiracy was there, that is called as Lahore conspiracy. Many Punjabi people were sent to lifetime deportation, 8 years, 10 years, or even many people were hanged out. From Maharashtra, one young person was leading out this Gadar movement named as Vishnu Ganesh Pingle. He was also tried and hanged out. Now this way, the Indians tried to get benefit of World War. Benefit means what? Because our trouble was there, English people were ruling over here and we were interested in freedom. World War was there between Europe. Rather, they are calling World War, but this war was focused in Europe only.